Namaskar, welcome to Current Affairs by Sarvika. In this video, you will get to know largest destroyer ever built in the country, Gujarat's village in the list of best tourism villages, Ecuador's youngest president, first country to get gold tier on the path to elimination of hepatitis C, India's first deep water container transshipment terminal, only the second Indian player to beat world number 1 Magnus Carlsen, and much more. So stay tuned. Current Affairs 14th October to 21st October 2023. National. The 11th edition of India-Bangladesh Joint Military Exercise Sampriti concluded at Umrao, Meghalaya. The exercise facilitated synergy in the conduct of joint tactical operations. Besides promoting understanding and interoperability between the two armies, it further helped in strengthening the ties between India and Bangladesh. The joint naval exercise of India-Bangladesh is called bncorpat. The Joint Air Force exercise of India-Bangladesh is called Tabletop. INS Sagar Dhwani, an oceanographic research vessel of Naval Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory NPOL of DRDO, embarked on a 2-month-long Sagar Maitri Mission 4 from South Jetty Southern Naval Command, Kochi. Sagar Maitri is a novel initiative of DRDO that supports the broad objective of security and growth for all in the region, Sagar, to promote closer cooperation in socio-economic aspects as well as more significant scientific interaction, especially in ocean research among Indian Ocean Rim IOR countries. Under the aegis of this policy, DRDO initiated a scientific component named Maitri, Marine and Allied Interdisciplinary Training and Research Initiative, which focuses on establishing long-term collaboration with IOR countries in the field of ocean research and development. In the Sagar Maitri program, INS Sagar Dhwani will retrace the tracks of INS Kitsna, which participated in the International Indian Ocean Expedition during 1962 to 65. The missions aim to establish long-term scientific partnerships and collaborations with Oman, the Maldives, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Myanmar, the 8 IOR countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated India's first regional rapid rail service, Namo Bharat train, from Sahibabad, Uttar Pradesh. The first phase will cover a distance of 17 kilometers, which includes a total of 5 stations: Sahibabad, Ghaziabad, Guldhar, Duhai, and Duhai Depot. The trains will run at a speed of 160 kilometers per hour at the interval of 15 minutes. Namo Bharat train has 6 coaches with the capacity to carry about 1,700 commuters. 1 coach has been reserved for women passengers. Mazagaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited (MDL) delivered INS Imphal, the third ship of the Project 15B class of stealth-guided missile destroyers, to the Indian Navy 4 months ahead of schedule. The ship has been constructed using indigenous steel DMR-249A and is among the largest destroyers built in India, with an overall length of 164 meters and a displacement of over 7,500 tons. Imphal is the first naval warship commissioned with accommodation for women officers and sailors. The first ship of P-15B class, INS Vishakhapatnam, was commissioned on November 21, 2021, while the second ship, INS Mormugao, was commissioned on December 18, 2022. The fourth, INS Surat, was launched on May 17 last year and is at an advanced stage of outfitting. Former Jharkhand Chief Minister Raghubar Das and BJP leader Indrasena Reddy Nallu have been appointed as the governors of Odisha and Tripura respectively. Raghubar Das, currently a national vice president of the BJP, was the chief minister of Jharkhand from 2014 to 2019. Indrasena Reddy Nallu is a BJP leader from Telangana. Do you know ESL Narasimhan, the first governor of Telangana, is the longest serving governor of India. He served as the governor of Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana for a tenure of more than 12 years. The 3rd Battalion of the Naga Regiment, 3 Naga, got the President's Colour Award from Army Chief General Manoj Pandey. The colour, represented by a flag, was presented to the battalion at the Kumaon Regimental Centre KRC in Ranikhet. The 3rd Battalion of the Naga Regiment was raised on 1st October 2009 at Haldwani, nestled among the Kumaon Hills, home of the Kumaon and Naga regiments. The tradition began under colonial rule, but on 23 November 1950, the King's colour of the erstwhile British Indian regiments were led to rest in the Chetwode Hall, Dehradun, to make way for the colours of the President of the Republic of India. The colours are presented by the President or, on her or his behalf, by the Chief of the Army Staff. The Indian Army won a gold medal at the Cambrian Patrol Competition 2023 International Military Exercise in Wales, UK. A team from 3x5 Gorkha Rifles represented the Indian Army at the prestigious Cambrian Patrol Exercise in Wales, UK. The Indian Army team participated in the event and competed against a total of 111 teams, which included 38 international teams representing special forces and prestigious regiments from around the world. The Forest Department of Manipur will carry out a census of Amur falcons. The first of its kind exercise will be part of the department's string of programs to protect the migratory birds. Thousands of these raptors roost in Nagaland's Wokha, Assam's Dima Hasao, and Manipur's Tamenglong districts during their 22,000-kilometer long flight from their home turf in northern China and southeastern Siberia to South and East African coasts. The first batch of the small-sized birds, numbering around 20 to 30, arrived in Manipur's Tamenglong district on Friday. Locally known as Aqua Puina, Amur falcons usually start arriving in mid-October. After roosting for over a month, they take wings for Africa and migrate over the Arabian Sea. Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare Dr. Mansukh Mandavia inaugurated the Nagaland Institute of Medical Sciences and Research NIMSR in Kohima, Nagaland. NIMSR is the first medical college in Nagaland. The country's tallest national flag has been installed at the Atari checkpost on the Indo-Pak border in Amritsar district. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari dedicated the national flag to the nation on a 418 feet high pole. Arts and culture. Dhodho village in Kutch district of Gujarat has gained global recognition as one of the best tourism villages awarded by the United Nations World Tourism Organization. The United Nations World Tourism Organization UNWTO is a United Nations agency working to promote tourism for sustainable development. It is headquartered in Madrid, Spain. On Thursday, it announced its list of best tourism villages 2023. Jurab Pololikashvili, a Georgian politician and diplomat, is currently the Secretary General of the World Tourism Organization. International. India and Vietnam share profound historical connections dating back almost 2000 years, which are rooted in Buddhism. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said on Sunday as he inaugurated a bust of Nobel laureate writer poet Rabindranath Tagore in Bakhnin city. Jaishankar extended his gratitude to the leadership of Bakhnin province, which lies to the east of Hanoi, for their support for installing Tagore's bust. On Tuesday, he also unveiled Mahatma Gandhi's bust in Tao Dan Park of Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. Barely 3 years after joining politics, former airline executive Christopher Luxon is set to become the next Prime Minister of New Zealand. His centre-right National Party, in coalition with the right wing of ACT Party, secured enough seats to form a new government after last week's general election. Once an ice cream and deodorant seller, Luxon has emerged as a leader amid the cost of living crisis and 3 decade high inflation in New Zealand. He has vowed to steer the country out of the economic mess and reduce government debt. Business aide Daniel Noboa on Sunday won Ecuador's presidential election, vowing to rebuild the South American country, which is struggling with a weak economy and rising crime and violence. At 35, Daniel Noboa is said to become the youngest president of Ecuador. Noboa formed his own party, National Democratic Action, ahead of the election. His father, Alvaro Noboa, is the richest man in Ecuador thanks to a conglomerate that started in the growing and shipping of bananas, Ecuador's main crop, and now includes more than 128 companies in dozens of countries. The elder Noboa unsuccessfully contested for president 5 times. Nobel Peace Laureate Martti Ahtisaari, who served as Finland's 10th president between 1994 and 2000, died on Monday at the age of 86. Ahtisaari was celebrated around the world for brokering peace in conflict zones in Kosovo, Indonesia, and Northern Ireland. He refused to accept that wars and conflicts were inevitable. Peace is a question of will. All conflicts can be settled and there are no excuses for allowing them to become eternal. Ahtisaari said when he accepted the Nobel Award in 2008. On October 17, Chinese President Xi Jinping hosted more than a dozen world leaders in Beijing, including Russian President Vladimir Putin, for the Third Belt and Road Forum, which also marked the 10-year anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. The BRI was launched by Mr. Xi in 2013 in his first year in office, comprising two parts: a land-based Silk Road economic belt focusing on energy, infrastructure and connectivity projects in Eurasia that was unveiled by Mr. Xi in Kazakhstan, and a maritime Silk Road that was announced in Indonesia. Science and technology. The Arab Republic of Egypt has become the first country to achieve the gold tier status on the path to elimination of hepatitis C as per WHO criteria. This means that Egypt has fulfilled WHO's programmatic coverage targets that will set the country up to achieve the reduced incidence and mortality targets of full elimination before 2030. Since Egypt launched its nationwide campaign known as the 100 million Seha campaign, which means 100 million healthy lives, it has resulted in testing over 60 million people and treating more than 4 million people. And by doing so, Egypt reduced the incidence of new infections from 300 per 10 lakh in 2014 to 9 per lakh in 2022. This is very close to the ultimate goal of hepatitis C elimination of less than 5 per 1 lakh new cases per year and similar levels for viral hepatitis deaths. The Indian Space Research Organisation has successfully conducted the crucial crew escape system of its rocket Gaganyaan on Saturday. The vehicle was launched from the first launch pad of the Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota, exactly at 10 a.m. After 9 minutes, the mission crew module successfully splashed in the Bay of Bengal, 10 kilometers away from Sriharikota. Scientists in China are building the world's largest ghost particle detector, 11,500 feet beneath the surface of the ocean. The Tropical Deep-Sea Neutrino Telescope, TRIDENT, called Hailing or Ocean Bell in Chinese, will be anchored to the seabed of the western Pacific Ocean. Upon completion in 2030, it will scan for rare flashes of light made by elusive particles as they briefly become tangible in the ocean depths. Market and economy. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, chaired by the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, has approved the increase in the minimum support prices (MSP) for all mandated Rabi crops for marketing season 2024 to 25. The absolute highest increase in MSP has been approved for lentil, masoor at rupees 425 per quintal, followed by rapeseed and mustard at rupees 200 per quintal. For wheat and safflower, an increase of rupees 150 per quintal each has been approved. For barley and gram, an increase of rupees 115 per quintal and rupees 105 per quintal respectively has been approved. The President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, launched the fourth Krishi Roadmap 2023 to 2028 of Bihar at Patna on 18th October. The President said that the farmers of Bihar are known for striving and adopting new experiments in farming. This is the reason why a Nobel Prize winner economist called the farmers of Nalanda greater than scientists. She was happy to note that despite adopting modern farming methods, the farmers of Bihar have preserved the traditional method of agriculture and varieties of grains. She described it as a good example of the harmony of tradition with modernity. Do you know, in 2013, Nobel laureate Joseph E. Stiglitz was impressed by the organic farming practices in Bihar's Nalanda district, termed its practitioners better than scientists, and called for their experience to be researched so that these can be replicated elsewhere. With the docking of the first ship on Sunday, the under construction Vizhinjam International Seaport, the country's first deep water container transshipment terminal near Tiruvananthapuram in Kerala, completed a significant milestone. Located just 10 nautical miles from the international shipping line and gifted with a natural depth of 18 meters, the port has the potential to give a tremendous boost to the country's maritime trade, which is currently suffering due to the lack of a major port in southern India. The depth at Vizhinjam is more than that of any competing port in the country and is either more than or equal to that of international competing ports like Singapore, Colombo and Salalah in Oman. This will enable large container vessels traversing the international shipping routes to seamlessly access the port at Vizhinjam. The strategic location of the port, being the only one in India to be so close to the east-west shipping channel, is a major asset. Sports. India's Grandmaster Ronak Sadhwani won the FIDE World Junior Rapid Chess Championship 2023 title in the Open category. He also secured silver medal in the FIDE World Junior Bliss Championship 2023. The championship was held in Italy. Rapid is a chess game played in a fixed amount of time, usually between 10 to 60 minutes per player. Bliss is a chess game where all the moves must be made in a fixed time of less than 10 minutes per player. Grandmaster Kartikeyan Murli has managed to do something extraordinary, something only one Indian player has managed to do so far. After Vishwanathan Anand, Kartikeyan is only the second Indian player to defeat the world number one Magnus Carlsen in classical chess. Karthikeyan scored a powerful win against Magnus with the black pieces in the seventh round of Qatar Masters 2023. Famous personality of the week: Manohar Singh Gill. Former Chief Election Commissioner Manohar Singh Gill, 86, passed away at a South Delhi hospital on Sunday after a brief illness. Manohar Singh Gill, 14 June 1936 to 15 October 2023, commonly known as MS Gill, was an Indian bureaucrat, politician and writer. As a bureaucrat, he served as a member of the Indian Administrative Services from 1958 until his retirement in 2001 as the Chief Election Commissioner of India. Gill served as the Chief Election Commissioner of India from 1996 to 2001, succeeding T.N. Seshan. His major achievement was introduction of electronic voting machines, which curbed malpractices to a large extent. He was awarded the Padma Vibhushan for his work in this post. At the 300-year anniversary of the Khalsa, he was awarded the Nishan-e-Khalsa. Upon his retirement from the Election Commission, he joined politics with the Indian National Congress. In 2004, he was nominated by the party for the election to the Rajya Sabha from Punjab. He was re-elected in 2010 and continued to serve as its member till his retirement upon completion of his tenure on 9 April 2016. In a cabinet reshuffle held on 6 April 2008, he was inducted to the Union Council of Ministers as Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Following the Congress Party's victory in the 2009 Indian election, he was re-inducted into the Council of Ministers and held cabinet rank in the second term. He continued to serve as the Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports. It was during the tenure as Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports that India hosted the 2010 Commonwealth Games in New Delhi, which also contributed to huge controversies, including several allegations of corruption. Gill was later appointed Minister for Statistics and Program Implementation for a brief duration. In 1972, Gill authored the book Himalayan Wonder: Travels in Lahaul and Spiti, recounting stories from his days as a young IAS officer in the Lahaul and Spiti district, then in Punjab. Another book that he wrote is Tales from the Hills: Lahaul's Enduring Myths and Legends, 2014. Thank you. So if you like the video, please like and share, and if you haven't subscribed the channel, kindly subscribe. Keep watching, keep learning. Thank you so much. Happy Dussehra.